Hello and welcome to the House of Sussex podcast. Please subscribe, like and comment. It really does help. Thank you. Great news! Harry and Meghan have launched a brand new website, Sussex.com. I can say that I am impressed. It's simple, sophisticated and elegant. I really like the front page of the website. It has a beautiful picture of them, beaming with happiness. I think that picture was taken from the closing ceremony of the Invictus Games last year. The front page also contains Meghan's coat of arms presented to her just before she married Prince Harry. I am sure the coat of arms would have raised the blood pressures of the royal rats in the UK. Lucky really that Harry and Meghan do not pay them any mind. Anyway, moving on. We have another good news for Meghan. According to Sussex.com, Meghan has signed a new partnership deal with Lemonade Media for her podcasts. I personally like the idea of partnership as opposed to a contract. Meghan will have the opportunity to stream her existing podcast archetypes on all available audio platforms. It means that she is not restricted to just Spotify. She will also produce new podcasts expected in spring. Looking forward to the new podcasts. I wonder what it is going to be on. I am sure that it would be equally as amazing as Archetype is. Spotify generally wasn't a good fit for our Duchess. Do you all remember how unprofessional Spotify became when they parted ways last year? Someone presumably from Spotify leaked to the media that the deal ended as Harry and Meghan were unproductive because they had only produced 12 episodes. My question is, why did Spotify not push for more episodes? Meghan was not working alone. Spotify were overseeing her podcast productions. As though that wasn't bad enough, Spotify went even lower. It was widely reported that Bill Simmons, one of Spotify's executives, had called Harry and Meghan grifters. There was another report that he was annoyed that he had to share Spotify with Prince Harry. The whole thing reeked of jealousy and was an attempt to humiliate them. Spotify may have just wanted to use Harry and Meghan as scapegoat. Their podcast venture was failing. They were making huge losses to the tune of €430 million. It wasn't a good look at all for Spotify. It was also a bad business decision. Archetypes was hugely successful, attracting almost 1 million listeners for each episode, per Sussex.com. If there were contractual disagreements between Spotify and Meghan, it should never have been aired out in such a public way. If I was a big superstar in podcasting, I would think twice before joining Spotify because I would be fearful the same thing may happen to me if we disagreed. In any case, our faves are doing great. They are rested, moisturized, and under a tree, relaxing. As we have now come to expect, anything that Harry and Meghan do, no matter how mundane, garners visceral reactions from the royal rats and the UK tabloids. Before we look at the responses from the UK, can I please remind you that if you have not yet subscribed, please do so. Also like and comment. It helps the algorithms notify others of my podcasts. Let's have a look at some of the responses from the UK. An article from Tom Bower reads: The Sussex's new website is a sign that the stakes are so high for Meghan and Harry. The cupboard is bare and Americans don't much care about them anymore. We already know who Tom Bower is and what he is all about. I think he was born missing a truth chip. He would not recognize the truth if it hit him across the face. The facts are that Harry and Meghan are popular worldwide and even in the UK. Tell me which other couple could have gotten the thrashing that they received in the UK media and still maintain their level of popularity? Also, we know that their cupboards are clearly not bare. Not in terms of ideas and not financially. Since leaving their roles as senior working royals, they have set up Archwell Productions, under which they release their Harry and Meghan docuseries. Live to Lead series on inspirational leaders, and the Archetypes podcast. They have both authored successful books. Harry wrote Spare and Meghan wrote The Bench. Prince Harry was named the Chief Impact Officer for Better Up. They have received numerous awards including but not limited to Woman of Vision Award for Meghan, their NAACP honor, and their Ripple of Hope Award from the Robert F. Kennedy Human Rights Foundation. Another article that I wanted to have a look at is by Arthur Parosha. He writes, recollections may vary on Prince Harry and Meghan's new website as Duke neglects to mention royal family at all in his profile as Duchess devotes just one line to her acting career in her 588-word biography. I have to say that I was tickled by this headline. Why, I hear you ask? The idea that someone who presumably trained as a journalist sat down to count how many words Harry and Meghan had in their bios on their website was quite amusing. I couldn't stop laughing. The writer was also being a smartass with that recollections may vary line. That aside, it's always concerning to me that the UK tabloids give Harry and Meghan an impossible task. Had they mentioned the royal family, they would have written thousands of articles about how they are promoting themselves with their royal connections. Yet, here is an article bemoaning that they neglected to mention the royal family. You can't win with these people. Sarah Vine wrote an article calling for the Sussexes' titles to be removed. This call from the UK tabloids for Harry and Meghan's titles to be stripped is so tired and used up, that I do not even think that it is worth me commenting on it. The last article that I wanted to look at is by Rebecca English. She writes, it's staggering they cannot see how gauche it is. Royal family could shut down Harry and Meghan's new Sussex.com site if couple trade on their titles or coat of arms, source warns, but Team Sussex fire back, it's their name. For those who may not know what gauche means, it means unsophisticated and socially awkward. I think it's laughable that Rebecca English is calling Harry and Meghan gauche. If I may remind the UK tabloids that they spent years calling Queen Camilla every insulting name in the book. Now they are bowing to her. Her insults to Harry and Meghan mean nothing. As the fifth in line to the British throne, if for some reason, Harry becomes king tomorrow, the same people insulting him, will be bowing and curtsying to him and Meghan. I also wanted to touch on this idea being perpetuated by the UK tabloids and royal rats that royals do not trade on their titles. Royals absolutely trade on their royal titles and royal connections. The Duchy of Cornwall is a commercial enterprise, with the royalty title that is used to fund the heir to the throne. Similarly, the Duchy of Lancaster is also a commercial business that is used to fund the monarch. When I say a commercial business, I mean that they sell products under those titles. The money goes to Prince William as the heir and King Charles as the monarch. Also, does anyone remember that Sarah Ferguson used her title Duchess of York for her book? Mind you, she was divorced from Prince Andrew, but there were no outcries that she used her title. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan can't. As far I know, Harry and Meghan have not traded on their royal titles and status. However, should they wish to do so in the future, I see no problems with it. The precedent has already been set with Duchy of Cornwall, Duchy of Lancaster, Duchess of York and others. This headline is so mean-spirited that Harry and Meghan were already being threatened with shutting their website. Sussex.com has no royalty attached to it. Their titles are theirs to be used. If they were Mr. and Mrs., no one would bat an eyelid if they used their titles of Mr. and Mrs. All right, squaddies. I think that I will leave it here for now. The video is getting too long. If you made it this far, thank you. Please subscribe, comment and like. I will be dropping new videos weekly. Hopefully more frequently than that, but at least once a week. Bye bye.